What is up, everybody? Hizzo here. Today's video, I wanted to look at the special time of 2400 hours. I wanted to see why this time, when we use the 24-hour clock, or as a lot of people call it, military time, why this does not exist. Why we go through our 24-hour day, we never reach 2400 hours. An interesting phenomena, but a very simple explanation, which we're going to explore in today's video. So I was setting my timer the other day when I was cooking, and I just kind of started scrolling through it, and I scrolled all the way down, and I got to 23:59:59, and it kind of reminded me that, wait a second, why was 24:00:00 not an option? Then I scrolled all the way back down, and I saw 00:00:00 is an option. And it really got me thinking, as we use 24 hours in the day, why not have 24 hours be a viable option for a timer, or really any sort of time? So I actually remember the first time I used military time, the 2400-hour clock, and it was when I worked for my state's Department of Transportation. And I had a little logbook like this because I was the dispatch and I had to take in all information and accurately log it and then relay it to whoever needed it. So when I would come onto my shift, I would just mark when I logged on to my shift. So I would just write logged on. And then when I left after my shift, after 8 hours, I would log off. And it always got me thinking, well, wait a second, I logged on at 00:00 and I worked till 7:59. Isn't that only 7 hours and 59 minutes? And then I actually changed shifts to second shift, and I would log on at 1600 hours, and I would log off at, not 11, 23:59. And there were several instances where I would kind of log on or log off at 2400. And I remember one time distinctly one of my supervisors telling me that time doesn't exist. And I was like, well, whatever, I'll just take your word for it. And I just kind of had to remember, right? But today I want to look at why it doesn't exist. And so just to kind of get us thinking, I got the clock going up here, just so we can see how it's going from 0 to 23:59:59. And so one interesting part about this, why it has 0, is because 0 has a bunch of special properties. So before we get into anything else, I just want to look at, let's just take the number 0 and let's add it to some other number, say A. So what's 0 plus 2? It's 2. What's 0 plus 7? 7. What's 0 plus 159? 1,000. That's 159,000. So 0 plus any number is that number, which is really nice because once we have a 0th element, it allows us to keep things accurate, where we have this starting point, wherever we have this starting point, we know that whatever we add to it will be equal to the thing we added to it. For example, we started at 00:00 hours, and we added, let's say, 30 minutes, and so we get 30 minutes, right? We had, let's say we started at 00:00 hours and 7 hours and 45 minutes to go by. And so we have 7, and now it's 7:45. So this 0th element is pretty powerful. And in fact, it's necessary, really, whenever you're dealing with addition, you have to have some 0th element. So let me consider all the times of the day, right? I'm just going to start at the left here and just say, okay, we have midnight, 00:00 hours, and then 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 3 minutes passed. You get the idea. Time passes, and then the end of the day starts coming around, right? And we have 23:57, 23:58, and then finally the last minute of the day is 23:59. And why this is important is because this actually shows us that there's 2,400 hours in the day. And I'm going to use a different example to prove this. I'm just going to use just another number set. Let's just think of all the numbers between 0 and 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's count how many numbers there actually are in this set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 numbers between 0 and 9. And so now we can kind of conceptualize what's going on with our time. I'm just going to look at 1 hour at a time. Okay, so let's look at from 0 to 100 hours to 0 to 159. Let's see what's going on here. We have the 0th element to the 59th element. So similar to this set, the 0th element to the 9th element. So this set holds one more than its last member. So just like we saw up here, this set has 10 elements, its last number is 9. So this set, similarly, will hold 60 elements because its last number is 59. So there's 60 minutes here. Then just the next one, let's just see the next one. So let's see about from 1 a.m. to the end of 1 a.m. Again, 60 minutes here because its first element is 100 and its last element was 159. And so that means that there are 60 elements there, and these are minutes. So this again has 60 minutes. And then finally, so we have, this is our first hour, second hour. So third hour would be 2 o'clock to 2:59. And again, this would have 60 minutes. And let's just fast forward. So this would be our third hour. And let's just think about what our 24th hour would look like. So some time passes. And the 24th hour would start at 11 p.m., 2300, and it goes to 23:59. And there is 60 minutes here as well. So 60 minutes is synonymous with 1 hour. So we have 1 hour, 1 hour, and then finally another hour. And how many do we have? Well, we have our first, second, third, and this was our 24th hour. So 1 hour plus another hour plus another hour plus ... plus 24 is 24 hours. And so we have 24 hours because our 0th element is present. And our last element is 23:59. And just like we see with this very simple setup here, the numbers from 0 to 9, is that these sets, the members in them, how many little guys are floating around in this set? Well, there's 10. And the members of the set, just by a rule, that a set that contains 0 and goes up by an integer, positive integer values, will be one more than its largest element. So here's the same set. Here's a set. Starts with the 0th element, 0 100 hours. And so the total members will be one more of its largest group. So as you can see, when we look at this little graphic we have here, we can see that this set that's kind of just scrolling through up here, this actually has 2,400 hours. It's just that one of them is 0. And we know that anything plus 0 is itself, and thus this set that goes from 0 to 100 hours to 2,300 hours has 2,400 members, although the 24th 100 member is actually 23:59. And that's why there is no 2,400 hours. Boom! Beast moded! Oh! So there we are. That is why 2400 hours doesn't exist. And next time your friend swears it does, you can show them this video and tell them you're right. Or you can watch this video a couple more times and show them why they're wrong. And make sure you maintain eye contact when you're doing it. That way you can always establish dominance. So if you liked this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down there. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, this is Hizzo, and I am out.